This episode of GuildCast is brought to you by Netflix. For a free 30-day trial, just head on over to netflix.com/GamebreakerTV.
Gamebreaker TV.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to GuildCast, episode 93 for November 6th, 2013. Of course, you're watching Gamebreaker. I'm Gary, and coming up on today's show, the next update is equally nightmarish. Big balance patch coming to December, and Guild versus Guild action this month. Maybe. All that and more, but first, Mr. Richard Procopio, how are you, sir?
I am doing fantastical. How are you, sir?
Excellent. Let's sing the entire show, because it's fun.
Yes. It could be a musical.
And Mr. Mad Visual.
Hi.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing very good. How are you?
Excellent. I'm good. It is the eve before BlizzCon. I know this is a Guild Wars 2 show. Don't kill me. I'm going to talk a little bit about World of Warcraft. I know I can feel it. Everybody, just give me a break. So tomorrow, I want you guys all to know, because it's going to be a good time. It's going to be fun. Whether you like World of Warcraft or not, this is going to be a good time. We did this 2 years ago. It's Gamebreaker, Zam, and WoW Insider. We all team up. We throw the most awesomest party at BlizzCon. It's the night before BlizzCon kicks off. It's at the Annabella Hotel in Anaheim, California, right outside of the convention center there. And we live stream the entire thing. And it's tomorrow night between 5 Pacific and 11. The live stream will be going all night. Tons and tons of guests. Got myself, the Gamebreaker crew, tons of the Gamebreaker Nation, Jesse Cox, a whole bunch of other people I probably aren't supposed to mention on the stream. Don't ask me why, but I don't know if I have approval, so I won't. But you can guess. Top streamers, top YouTube personalities, you name it. You guys watched 2 years ago, you know who shows up. So it's going to be an awesome time. Giveaways, all kinds of stuff, right? So definitely show up, mark your calendar tomorrow night, 5 to 11. Come by, hang out. Gamebreaker.tv/live is where you can watch it on Gamebreaker. Of course, you can watch it on the Twitch channel as always as well. And again, I want to play this for you guys. I know it's a World of Warcraft thing, but you guys have to hear this. This is hilarious. This is from everybody loves Coltrane and Pat Crane. They do a show called Convert to Raid. It's a World of Warcraft show, but I just have to play this because I just have to, because even if you don't like WoW, you're just gonna.
Convert to Raid presents excerpts from the new adult novel for raiders in the World of Warcraft.
Oh my god.
The 50 Shades of Raid.
Oh no.
Yes, by E.L. What's-Her-Name.
Yes, it's a story about a human female Ret Paladin raiding as if she's never raided before with anyone else ever. It's an erotic thriller filled with sexy talk and bloodlust. And it will be narrated by myself and Coltrane, and I apologize in advance.
All right, here we go.
All right, go for it. Go ahead.
I stepped into the siege of Orgrimmar, my cheeks flush with excitement that I hadn't felt since I was but a girl, back in the days of the Lich King. My very small inner goddess swayed in a gentle, victorious samba as I approached Immersius for the first time.
I stared into his eyes, deep, gray pools of water, filled with a lust for violence. My stomach somersaulted. He wanted me. In a weird way, true, but this beautiful, strange, corrupted elemental, he wanted me.
I slowly spread from my friends. Circling behind his hulking frame, I needed to get a full view of this magnificent creature.
Boy, this is tough. Our tank rushed at him again and again, and Immersius undulated until he burst, spraying uncontrollably all over the place, pushing me back. And I felt the color in my cheeks rise again.
His lips parted, like he was taking a sharp intake of breath, and he burst again, this time exploding over the entire room. As he reformed, I managed to probe some of his corrupted bits, all the while My heart pounded heavily. This is crazy.
This is crazy. This is crazy. All right, it's the new adult novel. Immersius gathered up his strength and surged again out of the mist.
Mercius, I
He
can't get over the
bellowed,
name.
but his voice was warm and husky, like dark melted chocolate fudge caramel, or something.
We went back and forth, lunging at each other, each explosion quicker than the last, until all at once it was over, and we were both spent.
That made me uncomfortable.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah.
That made everybody
That could be the last time we ever do that.
That might
ever.
be the last time we try that. Oh.
Nope. Not the last time. All right, there you go. The 50 Shades of Ray by Gold Trade and Pat Crane on the Convert to Raid podcast. If you guys are WoW fans, you definitely should listen to that show because it's hilarious. And they will be there tomorrow night as well at the BlizzCon party. So who knows what Gold Trade will bring with him besides his voice. I don't know. Who knows, but they'll definitely be there. So, all right. Let's talk about some Guild Wars 2. Did you guys like that? Did you guys enjoy that?
Oh yes,
Oh yeah.
Do you want more?
my lips parted.
Did you spray all over the room?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
We're gonna wait till the cameras
I'm
are off for
spent.
that. You
Yeah, we
spent.
gotta-
Matt's spent. Okay. Chat room seemed to enjoy it. So,
Oh gosh.
all right, let's talk about the Guild Wars 2. So, the Nightmares Within update is coming on November 12th, and we've got the deets. So, let's take a close look. Check out this concept art. I feel like this kind of like tells a lot about what's going on. Front and center, we've got Scarlet. She's mentioned by name on the preview page. So obviously a big part. She really gets around, huh?
She's mentioned on the preview page, but it's kind of like a question. It's like when you go into the tower, are you going to see Scarlet or something else that's even more nefarious or something? So she's mentioned and she's in that art right there, but we don't know exactly how involved she's going to be.
What do you mean she gets around?
She's like the biggest villain at this point in the game, right? I mean, she's got to be the biggest one.
Well,
Right.
besides all those elder dragons out there, but yeah.
Elder
What's,
Dragons? There's Elder Dragons in Guild Wars 2?
Who knew? What's this giant bug behind her?
Lots of speculation on that. Yeah, last week I brought up that people were saying that it looks like a Marganite, which is
That's what you were talking about last week from the original Guild Wars 2, right?
That's right. From the original Guild Wars, it's one. These are humans that were converted into like ethereal demons by Abaddon.
Whoa.
And so some people say, but Abaddon's kind of gone now, so this can't really be a Marganite. That doesn't make sense. So there's actual talk that that's actually maybe a minion of Mordremoth, which is speculated to be the sixth Elder Dragon, the Jungle Dragon that Colin Johansson kind of let slip in an interview. And it kind of makes sense. Like if there's a sixth Elder Dragon, it's supposed to be jungly, naturey, and it's supposed to deal with being able to corrupt plants and stuff. So now people are speculating maybe this has some ties to actual, the Elder Dragon that's in the Maguma jungle, and maybe that ties into Scarlet somehow, or so people are going crazy with speculation. But the truth is, we just don't know.
So that's a totally new. That would be a totally new character to the scene.
What, Mordremoth?
Yeah.
Well, I don't expect to see the dragon, but it could start to be leading up to another
I see.
storyline with the dragon. I think we might start to see hints that these corrupted, the crate might be involved with this, or the plant that's at the top of the tower might be, they might have been able to kind of, I don't know, get that thing up there and infuse Kessex Hills with all of this corrupted magic through Mordremoth somehow. So I don't know. I don't know if it is even connected, but this is just what people are talking about now.
But this is what I'm talking about Scarlet, man. I mean, like, it's getting look, go down the list of all of Scarlet's allies at this point. You've got Sky Pirates,
Yeah.
Clockwork Robots, the Nightmare Court, the Crate, and now Giant Bugs. So
And also the Molten Alliance, right?
Yeah.
is she forming her own faction? Is she like forming her own faction here? Because it's kind of cool, and I want to kind of join.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a short story on the Guild Wars 2 official site that you can read about Scarlet's history, and she literally comes out of the dream and is born into the world, and she just wants, she's thirsty for knowledge. So she leaves. You know, she learns what she can from the Solvari, and then she goes and she studies under the Norn. She studies under the Char. She goes to all 3 colleges, and graduates with honors in the Asuran colleges. She does all 3 of them in record time, and then she actually studies alchemy with Hylix, and she does all of this stuff. So she actually has made a lot of connections and has studied a lot of the different races. So it kind of makes sense that when she becomes all twisted and evil, that hey, I'm going to pull in all these people that I met and learned everything. She basically is like a knowledge sponge, and she sucks all the knowledge out of you and leaves you dry, and then moves on to the next thing. So, yeah, she's a dangerous enemy to have for sure.
Obviously. Anything else that you guys can draw out of this image and this concept art here that people are, talking about and speculating on?
That the boss fight is gonna be awesome. Well, I sure hope it is. At least once we get to the top, I'm pretty sure we're gonna fight that or something like that. I don't think we're going to just fight Scarlet again. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like some type of being. And might be good. I'm interested to see how that looks in the game.
Wonder if the sex
robots a concept art.
Back.
Because concept art always looks awesome, so I want to actually see how it looks like. And Scarlet looks better on that concept art than she looks in game.
Well, it's concept art.
Yeah.
Anything else that people are speculating, though, on anything else this could entail? Or is this pretty much it?
From story-wise?
Yeah.
No, I think
pretty much it.
That's about it. We're gonna actually be going into the tower, which is cool.
All right, well, November 12th is the date. Mark your calendars. It's coming very, very soon. All right, let's talk about some content then. So, yeah, like we're actually getting into the tower this time. What do you think? Yay! Too soon? Some people were expecting a patch like dedicated to like sieging it or something. Like they're kind of no.
Well, there's also a lot of people who were disappointed that they didn't get to go into the tower last patch. The patch was called Tower of Nightmares, and you can't go in the tower. Yeah, you do a lot of stuff around the tower, but so I think people are excited to get in there.
Definitely, I don't think anyone's gonna have a problem with not getting inside the tower this time around. Definitely not. I kind of like that. At first I was like, no tower, but now I'm kind of okay with it. It's like, okay, everyone gets their healing skill, everyone gets prepared, and maybe they should have added an event that was, that leads to like event starting to go into the tower or start sieging the tower, and then when that patch comes out, boom, you get to go into the tower. But yeah, definitely, it's time for to go inside the tower. 2 weeks is enough for people to catch up and get their healing skills.
Now, Keswick's Hills is still all kinds of messed up from poison in the air and all that. So, do we know if anything's changing there? Is it getting worse? Is it getting better?
Yeah, I mean, so right now we're fighting back the Toxic Alliance, and we're gathering these pristine spore samples and bringing it to the Marjorie Delacroix and Lady Casimir, and they are concocting an antitoxin. And so the whole area is just totally basically foobarred, right? It's got toxic pollen floating in the air. Everything's getting corrupted. Even like the normal champions in other zones, right? Sometimes have the toxic debuff and are modified from it. So I don't think things are going to be getting better anytime soon. And from the way the dev spoke and some quotes that we read last week, it looks like Keswick's Hills will probably never be the same. And I made the reference.
Yeah.
I made the reference last week that even if we stop this nightmare that's happening in this tower is gigantic. If we somehow blow it up and it topples over, I expected and would like the debris of this fallen monstrosity to be there forever, because it's like bigger than any structure that you could see in the game.
So you want it as like a monument. You want to like have it like sit there and just kind of like a ruin. You want a ruin.
Yes, I want it to stay there. If it disappears, I'm going to be pissed.
Yes. I doubt they'll do that, man. Because as I said before, the lion statue, when that got broken down, guess what? It took them a while to build it back up. But the lion statue is back to normal now. I don't want it to be back to normal. I definitely agree with you. That's how it needs to be broken there. Maybe piece by piece, it'll be taken away.
Needs to go down.
I want it to be changed in some way.
I want it to be something like, actually, one of the things I liked about the first Karka invasion, right, was the boss fight that you this 3-hour trek to kill the ancient Karka or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the Karka is still, his body is still like petrified or whatever inside the lava pool and the South Sun, and you can still. I'm wandering by all the time, mining some mithril or some orichalcum, and I say, I killed you. A year ago, I killed you. And I like that kind of thing where you can see things that you've done in the world that and they actually permanently change the landscape. So
now here's where it gets interesting. I want to hear what you guys think about this. So on the preview page, there are two things going on inside of the tower, and they're listed separately, this is why this is interesting. So the first one is about entering rooms and braving the special encounters, never knowing what's inside. While the second sounds more like story focused, it's like destroying the toxin at the top of the tower. So what do you guys think? I mean, what do you think here? Do you think like it's a dungeon, or do you think it's something else, or do you think it's one and the same? I mean, what could they be referencing here?
I'm hoping that it's open world, right? Everyone gets to go inside, and then there's different sections inside of the tower. Now, this is something totally different that I haven't seen in Guild Wars 2 yet, so I don't know how they're gonna pull this off. But like everyone being in separate areas, maybe floors, but it says rooms, so I'm gonna say there's definitely gonna be sections, right? The pictures that you're looking inside the tower, the tower looks kind of small, like there's a hollow point in there. Maybe there's gonna be like a couple rooms of maybe something huge like the pavilion, and then there's separate rooms from there, and then you can just go straight up to the tower, really, and there's not really like a bunch of floors that you can go into, but maybe the rooms are instance even.
They actually confirmed that.
Okay, so you know that because I'm watching chat room and somebody's saying that a dev confirmed it on Twitter. I don't know if that's true. Do you know if this is okay? So they're saying that it's the tower inside. It is open world, but has is it a small instance or small instances?
They mentioned there are small instances, plural,
okay,
inside, but the tower itself is not an instance. So you can go in with a large group. So yeah,
okay, so it's confirmed. It's definitely group content, not solo content, right?
So there might be a big, huge area.
The instances could be solo. We don't know. I mean, this could be like Queen's Gauntlet in a way, like you kind of said, where you have the big open area where you're running around killing these bosses that spawn and stuff. And then if you want to go do the Queen's Gauntlet, I know that wasn't technically instance, but you kind of went in by yourself and it was a one-on-one boss fight. So there might be challenges in these rooms that you either do alone or maybe in a party of 5, and then you come out and you could do more things inside the actual tower itself. With a large Zerg.
What do you think about something like Ara? You know how Ara is always closed unless you push the event?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you see that like in a tower? I'm pretty sure. I'm thinking the way they're describing it is probably one big open area because it'll splitting up everyone into different maps would be kind of like weird for Guild Wars 2 style. So it'll be one giant map and then these small instances for the rooms that change the gameplay in some way. I have no idea what's in the rooms, but pushing an event inside of that tower to get to the top of the tower, I can see that being pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would have loved to see some hardcore way to get to the top, and like no one gets to the top unless they figure it out. Like no one could just rush to the dungeon, right? You're like, oh, I just want to do the story dungeon, I'm just gonna run up in there. But what if they have it like extremely hard? You have to go through a maze, and you have to work together with your friends to try to figure out where to go and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind seeing something like that to get to the top. Not just someone just teleporting up to the top, but of course you kind of have to even out the difficulty a little bit.
So much speculation. Now the rewards are a lot clearer, a bit more clear anyway. For completing the meta achievement, you're gonna get. I know you're very depressed, and you're not gonna get a back piece. Boom! What the heck is this, ArenaNet? Where's my back piece? Oh wait, sorry, you are gonna get a back piece.
There is a back piece.
There is a back piece as well.
Spore back piece.
Yes, the Toxic Spore back piece, of course, another back piece. But you're also going to get this this cool helm.
Yeah, I'm happy actually. They're doing a piece of combat armor for doing the meta. I think that's the first time they've done that. So I'm excited for that.
I'm not a fan of helmets because they take away my beard and my hair and stuff like that, and I feel like that's the only part of my character customization I have left. So putting a helmet just kind of defeats the purpose of customization for your character. So
you are into your hair, aren't you?
Huh?
You are into your hair, aren't you?
Yeah, yes, I am. I pay a lot of money. But I like the gas mask a lot actually.
It's
And I can't
cool.
wait to see how it looks on my character. Yeah, I hope we could change the colors.
You can.
Maybe?
You can.
You can?
I previewed it in game. It looks really cool. Yeah, it looks vastly different. Like the Char, I think look awesome with it, but the Norn, it looks different. It looks you look like you're in like Mass Effect a little bit.
I was gonna say that all of a sudden the game just got like really post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Now inside the tower, there'll also be chests that contain something. What? Anything? Any idea?
A chance.
The try-lock chest. What are they? Try something chest. You need 3 keys to open these things, and you can get them by finding them in the tower or by bartering with Marjorie Delacroix's assistant D, I think is her name. Totally pulling this all from memory.
Tri-key chest.
This screams of something that's not worth doing.
Yeah, it's just like the last one. You remember the last one? Oh, you collect what? Like was it like 8 keys?
The keys with the Aether Blade secret chest.
And you
or whatever.
got greens, blues. Like I don't care about it. I really don't care. Maybe this time they'll add like a very low chance to get some mini or some weapon or something like that.
Yeah, it's like needing 3 keys for one of their chests. That just scares me. That scares me right away.
Well, I mean, if you're pretty much doing the events in the tower, you're probably going to get loads of events. It's going to be low on the trading post. You can buy them anytime. Stuff like that. But yeah.
I don't want to chat about a little bit about this balance patch, but have you guys joined the Gamebreaker Nation yet? No. What the heck are you waiting for? First up, Gamebreaker Nation t-shirts on sale. This is one of the first Gamebreaker Nation shirts on sale. GamebreakerNation.com. This is the new logo for Gamebreaker Nation, and on the back, of course,
friends don't let friends pug.
Oh my gosh.
I will be proudly wearing, and this is a couple. We had a couple Gamebreaker Nation t-shirts. There's a hoodie also in there. And if you guys have not joined the Gamebreaker Nation yet, get on over to GamebreakerNation.com and sign up today. There's a ton of Guild Wars 2 players, and the guild in Guild Wars 2 is growing every day. So go check that out. So this December 10th patch, it looks like this is going to be this huge balance patch that I think we talked about. John Peters jumped on and wrote many words on the forums this week about this. This is the big trait revamp we were expecting, correct?
We actually had a big trait revamp in the beginning of October.
3 times, yeah.
In the beginning of October, they did it.
I thought this was
this is coming out. They put up this huge post. I mean, if you go to the forums and check it out, I mean, the devs are constantly in this thread for the past few days, replying to people, and they're basically saying, "Hey, here's what we're looking to change on every class. Here's why. What do you guys think before we do it?" And they've actually modified a few things based on feedback. But yeah, the 10th is it looks even bigger. Looks like even bigger shakeup than the one we just had.
I'm just saying every single class is going to see multiple changes in most or all lines of traits, right?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Guardians seem kind of a little bare there, but it's okay.
How your class is going right now, Matt? How's your class going right now since the last set of changes?
All right, so what they want to do is make the Guardians do a little bit more damage, not too much damage like the Warrior and everyone else, but they want them to be viable for damage at least, And we do have damage. It's just you have to build a certain way. You have to maybe use Boon for damage and stuff like that. But they're doing some changes, but it seems like the biggest changes that they're doing in here is the scaling for healing power. And healing power is not necessarily damage. It's good for the supportive side for Guardian. But really, like, the only thing that I see that's an improvement, I guess, is the 3% from 10% for damage and healing. Like, that's not really much. I mean, I can't say. I have to really try it out, but I don't really see that it's gonna like change the game. Like, oh my gosh, Guardians could do damage now. No, it's very small right now, at least for the Guardians. I don't know about everybody else. As always, the Elementalist list is like this big, like this big. Okay, I'm gonna quit Guardian and go to an Elementalist because it makes no sense. Reroll, man. Jeez, I have it on level 80. All I do is spend money and no one.
Yeah. How about you, Richie? How's your class doing?
Yeah, I was happier before. But it's odd because in the October patch, Warriors they got a buff to shouts and to healing, and so there was I was really thinking about going back to my Hammer Warrior where it got better than, and I used to play it when it wasn't as good. But now there apparently there's some issues with how much damage Hammer Warriors are doing, especially in PvP and World versus World. And their Hammer Warriors have really big damage abilities on crowd control. So you'll do like an AoE like smash with your hammer that stuns everybody, but it also does a ton of damage. And there's also a big knockback that does a ton of damage. And they're toning down all of the hammer. Like toning down a lot. I think one of the abilities is losing like 20% damage. Another one is 23% damage. So these are huge nerfs to some of these abilities. So not so excited to go back to Hammer as I once was. So yeah, they really seem to be some classes like the Guardian, like Matt was saying, they're looking to increase the damage a little bit and put them in a little bit of line, but they're not being shy about big nerfs for some of the classes that are a little bit out of balance. So, yeah, apparently Warrior is one of them.
Huh? Really? I never knew that. Warrior is being overpowered?
But it's funny though. Because, I mean, they're nerfing Longbow and Hammer, right? Which is not what you normally would think of. So
yeah, that's right. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
The sarcasm. It's dripping. All right, next up, the Obsidian Sanctum is coming in November, barring, I guess, any unforeseen difficulties, of course. This is the Band-Aid fix, as we called it, for the Guild versus Guild folks, right?
Yes. That's right.
I feel like we've talked about this. We hadn't yet seen all the issues with the season 1 of WDubs, but so are those issues going to affect this new map at all?
Well, it seems like you're going to be able to queue directly for this new map, the Obsidian Sanctum revamped map. If you can queue directly for that, then the issues with season 1 and the long queues and stuff, it's not going to impact it as much. If they, and I'm pretty sure you don't have to be in the Eternal Battlegrounds to go to this new Obsidian Sanctum map, but if you actually have to be in any of the World versus World maps first, which I don't think is the case, then it could still have some impact with the 2 times. But yeah, this is the Band-Aid fix for the Guild versus Guild folks. When they go there, they have a section of this jumping puzzle map, which it's a large area where they can do these battles. They do not get impacted by the Bloodlust buff, so they're no longer going to be
removal
like
of that. Remove the
so
Bloodlust buff, and
so
basically you can go. And can you load
Go
into the map from anywhere? You can load into the map from anywhere, right?
I think so. I think that's something that they said. I tried to find a quote for that today, and the most I could say was you don't have to be in the Eternal Battlegrounds to get in there. So I'm assuming that you can just port right to it from anywhere.
That's what it sounds like. Any idea how this will affect people just doing the jumping puzzle?
Isn't it a separate map?
No, it's the same. It's the same map. It's the Obsidian Sanctum map. That jumping puzzle that whole map is gigantic anyway. And if they're adding a whole new section to it, where the Guild versus Guild people are going to go, I can't see it overlapping too much. It's not like a typical jumping puzzle. It's very big area. And so, yeah, I don't think there's going to be much of a problem with that.
It is very big. All right. Last week we talked about this new heal, but first I want to talk about Audible. I want to hook you guys up with a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook just by using the URL audible.com/Gamebreaker. Go on over, go to the URL, sign up, make an account, download the app to your iOS or your Android device, and you could be downloading a book absolutely for free just by going to audible.com/Gamebreaker. Sure, everyone's seen The Hunger Games, the movie. But damn, you got to listen to the book. It's so good.
When I wake up, the other side of the bed is cold. My fingers stretch out, seeking Prim's warmth, but finding only the rough canvas cover of the mattress.
Is this
She
Coltrane
must have
again?
had bad dreams
No, it is
and
not.
climbed in with our mother. Of course she did.
Carolyn
This
McCormick
is the day of the reaping.
narrating 11 hours
I
and
prop
14
myself
minutes
up
of
on one
book
elbow.
1 of The Hunger Games.
There's enough light in the bedroom to see them. My little sister Prim, curled up on her side, cocooned in my mother's body, their cheeks pressed together.
30,000 ratings and a
In
4.5 stars.
My
Great,
mother
great,
looks
great
younger.
reviews. Check it out by
Joe
Susan
Moore.
Collins. The Hunger Games. You could be downloading this for absolutely for free just by going to audible.com/Gamebreaker. Sign up today, and supporting our sponsors helps make this show and all the other shows here on Gamebreaker possible. So
The
thank you
last
so
book,
much.
though. The last book, the ending sucks. And I can't wait for all of you guys to experience it in the movies. It's going to be great.
Wow. Sarcasm just all over today.
Oh, dude, that last book. Anyone read Hunger Games?
Can't believe you're talking about reading that.
You listen.
Excuse me. I happen to read a lot of books. Okay, I have a lot of books right over there. You just can't see them. Okay.
He has many books.
I have many books. All right. Last week we mentioned that the new heal wasn't healing for too much, and turns out it actually heals allies for more for each condition they have. And was this like an oversight? Because it doesn't seem to be mentioned anywhere on the tooltip, is it?
The tooltip's just wrong. The tooltip says heals you and allies, and also cures these conditions, these 4 conditions. But really, what it does is it heals you and cures conditions on you and allies, and if it happens to cure conditions on allies, then it heals them. So the tooltip's just wrong.
Is it actually useful now, like in other areas of the game, or does this just like totally look like it's designed for the tower?
I've heard large groups of people in World versus World are actually using it because there's a lot of conditions flying around, and if you have a lot of people that are spamming this ability, then it's not only curing conditions on lots of people, it's also healing lots of people. But I don't, I haven't seen anybody running around with it in PvE. It's much smaller heal, at least for a warrior, than healing Signet and healing Surge are just better in my opinion. But we'll probably need it next Tuesday.
Yeah, it's very powerful for Zergs. By yourself, you might as well use your class dedicated heals.
Yeah, I was gonna. How would the healing compare to other heals in the game? If, like, let's say an ally had Torment, Confusion, Poison, and Toxin.
Well, then it's pretty decent because a lot of the heals, and again, I will speak for warriors. None of my heals can heal allies at all. Some of the classes heals will put down like an AOE on the ground or something for people to stand in and get like a heal over time. But yeah, having like a very quick way to remove 4 conditions from all of your allies and heal them for a bunch, yeah, that could be pretty cool. Yeah, so it's this ability isn't very sexy, but what's sexy is the fact that they're adding new abilities to the game for the first time, and I can't wait to see what they do with that in the future, because there's a lot of horizontal progression they can add to this game by just releasing new skills for you to capture and get.
Sexy.
Richie
Procopio, follow him on Twitter at Richie Procopio, and of course go over to his YouTube channel, which is Bog Otter. Always a pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Matt Visual, follow him on Twitter at Matt_Visual, and go over to his YouTube channel as well and check out all his Guild Wars 2 footage and action and videos and all that great stuff over there as well, man.
Jazz hands.
Yeah.
You can follow me at Gary Gannon, follow Gamebreaker TV, and do not forget, November 7th, 5 to 11, Gamebreaker.tv/live. We'll be broadcasting live from the Annabella Hotel pool party. Wonder if somebody's going to go in the pool this year. You never know. All right. Have a great week. Thanks so much for watching. And don't forget to follow the BlizzCon stuff. Go to Gamebreaker.tv/BlizzCon. That is the URL you're going to want to keep dialed in for the next couple of days with all of our updates. So we will see you next week for some more Guild Wars 2 talk. Thanks so much for watching.